Hey, welcome into the REVO Church podcast. I'm Jamie, man. I'm glad you clicked on this video because it's been a minute, but we're back. I know y'all been waiting. Y'all been hungering for the podcast. It's okay. I have been too, but man, I'm glad that you're here. I'm actually joined today with Michael. He's our student pastor out at the Walkertown campus, out at our South Fork campus. He cracks the whip on me because I run our students at our North campus. And Michael, I'm glad you're here, man.
Man, it's good to be here. I think it's been a while. I know I did a Psalms recording, but since I've been in the room with you, sitting down.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It's been too long.
I tell you what, man. Michael just told me that he's trying to get into college football.
Yeah, I'm trying.
And I told him that I think college football, a hot take, is the worst football.
I mean, I agree. I do agree.
NFL, I don't want to watch the amateurs play. Let me see the people that are good at football.
Yeah.
Not to offend you, but he's looking for a team.
Mm-hmm.
He has no loyalties.
Honestly, zero.
I pitched him Bama.
Yeah.
I said, hey, how about you just roll Tide?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, but do I want to jump on a bandwagon? So
I'm fine with it. So
if you're watching this video, if you have a college football team, make your pitch in the comments. Mm-hmm. He will become a fan. He even said that he would tattoo their logo on his forehead if they win the Natty.
No, I won't do that. There's no way. But make a case for me. Make a case for me. Why don't you?
He will. Yeah. He will come through. He will pull for your team. But man, I'm happy we're here because here's what we're doing today. One thing that we want to do at REVO, Michael, is we want to make sure that our ministries are spotlighted. Not because we want to give you praise, not because we want to give the ministry or the ministry leads praise, but we want to make sure that they're spotlighted because for a lot of people, they just don't know what's happening. Student ministry specifically, there's people that still have no idea that student ministry is a thing at REVO.
Yeah.
Or if it is a thing at REVO, they're like, wait, so you got 3 kids that are coming. I had a guy just a couple weeks ago at North Campus be like, oh, you were on the students? I was like, yeah. He's like, how many kids you got? I was like, oh, 15 to 20 on average. And he goes, oh, I thought it'd be 5. And I was like, it used to be.
Yep.
And now it's not. And so I think there's a lot of people that don't know. So this summer we've been doing something. It's really felt like the summer of missions here at REVO.
Yeah, it is.
We've been sending teams on mission trips. We have been doing all these different serve projects in the community. So talk to us a little bit about student ministry's involvement in what I'm coining the summer of missions.
Yeah, dude, missions are if there's something that's hot at REVO right now, missions is it. And part of that though is realizing missions is a whole church effort.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I think student ministry is maybe one of the best kept secrets at REVO. We don't try to keep it a secret, but it just ends up that way somehow. And so, we love our student ministry. And as our church has begun to be on mission, one of my biggest points of emphasis, one of my biggest desires was to say, well, if our entire church is living on mission, if I truly consider students to be part of our church, which I do, I think they're a crucial, vital role to it. I know you and I were on with Kate a year ago, one of our students.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
And Kate was talking about in this chair, her involvement in student ministry and the church.
And in that, we kind of pitched the vision of students aren't just the add-on, but they're the church of the now. Yeah. Not just, they'll be important at some point, but no, they're important now.
Yeah, and so my thought process was well, if I believe that, if that's what you and I are saying, then man, we really want to see students get involved in missions. And so, I'm not a huge numbers guy, but I do think numbers can tell a story.
Yeah.
And so
let me tell you how much of a numbers guy Michael is not.
Yeah.
He found out, so we do budgets and we use spreadsheets. And he found out just this past year that you can actually let the spreadsheet add the numbers for you.
Yeah.
He would go in and he would put in $10 and then he would say, we're going to spend $10 3 times. And he'd go on this calculator and do 10 times 3 and then input it.
Because I'm not good at math either. So even 10 times 3 I need to do on my calculator. So.
Math. And so I had to go in and I showed him, hey, here's how you can let the spreadsheet work for you.
Yeah.
And he was like, whoa.
My mind was blown wide open, dude. It was crazy. And so this summer, because our church has been putting such an emphasis on not only local missions, but global missions. I was like, man, like I would really love to see some students from our church get involved in that. And so we had, and my math is right. I've double checked. We had 14 students go on global international missions this summer. And it's just really cool because that's like such a comfort zone thing. You know, I think right now, like in our culture and in our society, we really want and we desire for students to be comfortable. Like we want them to be safe. Like we don't want to put your baby boy or baby girl at risk. So like be careful, you know, do the status quo. And students are oftentimes even looking for comfort in their friendships, in their relationships, in their hobbies. Like we want to be insulated. We want to be secure. And so that is the exact opposite of global missions, right? Like global missions is not always safe. It's not always secure. It's not always this little nice bubble that we wish we could stay in. And so seeing that we had 14 of students from our ministry, like ranging from literal sixth graders all the way to graduated seniors in high school, like living bold and living on mission, it's just cool to see them catching the vision of our church. Just saying, man, I believe this is important. And then guess what happens? They go on mission, they make an impact, God works in their heart, then they come back to our church and our congregation sees the change in them. And then guess what? Next summer, we'll have 20, 25 students go on global mission. And so it's just really neat to see like they catch the vision of what our church is trying to do, which further integrates them as a part and a piece of our church.
Yeah, that global mission side further shows the church, hey, these students, man, some of them might be delinquents at times, but
oh yeah, for sure.
Let's be real, but man, like they love God and they're seeking to go and tell other people about Jesus. And so you were able to actually, not just that we had 14 go, but you actually got to lead a team to St. Lucia.
Yeah.
And so I'd love if you spent just a couple minutes talking about, you know, what you saw with the students that came with you. Just, you know, we could spend 2 hours talking about the mission trip, but just, you know, what was some of the growth that you saw in the students and why that was so important?
Yeah, I loved the St. Lucia opportunity was random. It was January, and our missions pastor, Josh, reached out via email. He was like, hey, man, would you consider going with Keyshawn Bishop, who leads missions trips to the Caribbean? That's where he's from. Those are his people. Like that's where his heart is. And so Josh was like, hey, would you consider going with Keyshawn and maybe bringing a student or two with you? Yeah. I was like, yeah, like I consider it. You know, I'm a busy guy right now. I've got 2 young girls. I've got a lot going on. And I was like, yeah, so in order for me to feel like this is worth it, I'm going to need to bring some kids with me. And so I reached out to 4 guys and I said, maybe one of them will come with me. Maybe one, right? And all 4 of them came along. I was like, wow, God, you're so good. That's so amazing. Yeah. But what was really cool is seeing, like, I had seen some spiritual growth in these guys leading up to the trip. Otherwise, I wouldn't have invited them. Yeah, of course. Right? But even on the trip, they blew my expectations. And so one really cool instance, and I could share an instance of each of these guys. So if y'all are watching, don't think I hate you, but I'm going to share one specific instance because it really stood out to me as a reminder of why students can be a part of our church. Yeah. So, you know, we're walking on the beach in St. Lucia, and man, first of all, like these St. Lucian beach salesmen are some of the best, most gifted, most skilled salesmen I've ever met in my entire life. They could go to Harvard and teach a masterclass on how to sell a product. And so we're on the beach and I'm like, hey man, like I just got here. I want to just see the ocean. It's beautiful. I've never seen anything like this before. And so we're walking on the beach and this guy Shane comes up to us. We get to know his name and hear his story. But at first Shane is like, hey, you want this bracelet. You want to buy this bracelet. You want it. You want it. I'm like, no, I don't want it.
It's going to change your life.
And so he stopped Drake Lockwood, one of the students who came with me. And I was like, oh, Drake, sorry, bro. And I'm like, I'm walking up ahead. I'm gone. I'm going to avoid, deny, defend. And I was like, I'm out of here. And Drake, it's like 20 minutes later, is still talking to Shane. I was like, oh my gosh, dude, like he's going to buy 40 bracelets.
He's going to buy the entire cart.
You know? And come to find out, Drake comes up to me afterwards. He's like, hey man, I just got to share the gospel with Shane. I was like, oh, come on, dude. No, you didn't. Like, you're lying to me. He's like, no, like I told him I wasn't interested in what he was selling, but I did tell him I was interested in sharing why we're here. And every single day, Drake would go down to the beach and talk with Shane, hear about his life, his family, his story, got to know him, got pictures with him. And like, that's a student. Like I was the youth pastor. Like I'm the one who should be setting that example.
Yeah.
And it's like these students who came on mission, they were ready for it. Like they weren't just there to enjoy the sun and be like, I'm in St. Lucia. They were like, no, like I'm here for a reason, for a mission. And so just a testament to how, man, when students get out of their comfort zone, when they lean into what God is doing in their life, like big things can result.
Yeah, that hearing you share about, so I got to hear a lot more of the intimate, deeper details of the mission trip, and man, that it just got me fired up hearing how the students were engaged, involved, just like they weren't just passive attenders of a mission trip, but so you took a mission trip, but also we did some local mission stuff. One of my favorite things we do as a student ministry is a thing called Serve Weekend. It is a weekend for those not involved with our student ministry. It's a weekend of some fun. We play some crazy games. It's a weekend where we'll go to a camp at the end and just have a celebration. But the core of that weekend is, hey, we're going to go and serve our community. We're going to go and we're going to love God and love others. We're going to go and help people. And so tell us a little bit about the Serve Weekend, because I love helping implement it, but it wasn't my idea and it wasn't my brainchild. And so I'd love for you to share a little bit about the why behind it and then what we got to see as the weekend progressed.
Yeah, Serve Weekend is like, if you're, is this camera rolling? Cool. This is like super candid. Hey, Serve Weekend is like our local squirrel. It's like our local missions trip as a ministry. And so it's a way for us to, sorry, that got me good. It's a way for us to say, hey, like, I know not everyone can go internationally. I know not everyone can go globally. Like most parents are not willing to send their kid to do that. And I understand that. I really do. But like, we don't need to get on a plane or pack a suitcase or spend exorbitant amounts of money to live a life on mission. And so we had 47 students from our ministry join us this summer for Serve Weekend. And that ranged from a heavy dose of like new sixth graders, again, all the way through to some recently graduated seniors in high school. And like, so Serve Weekend, the whole vision is just saying, man, how can we show students that they have a role and a responsibility in our community to love other people, to serve other people, but also to just be a light and share the gospel. Like, you think we're in the Bible Belt, we're in North Carolina, everybody knows about Jesus. Like, everybody goes to church. And that's just such a false narrative that we try to sell ourselves. And when students can get into places in their community that might be 5 minutes from where they live, and they're like, wait, I never knew this place was here. I never knew some of these people don't go to church. Like, it gives them a real responsibility to say, well, I can keep doing this. Like, I can keep impacting and serving and being missional in this way. So just our way for our entire ministry to rally around that. That's the best part about Serve Weekend.
I know, like, what I really enjoyed about it was, man, we went and served at apartment complexes. So we served at different ministry partners. You know, my group, we served at Hope Pregnancy Center, and we served at the Walkertown Elementary School, my van. But we also served at apartments. And the apartments that my van actually served at was quite literally, Michael, is 5 minutes away from my house. I drive past that, well, not the apartments itself, but I drive past the road to get to the apartments every single day. I get off of 52 and I drive past it every single day. Had no idea it existed, no idea what was there. And then we go and we serve at this area and we're talking to the kids. And by the end of it, we ended up having, on the second day, 35, 40 kids show up for this little backyard Bible where we were playing some basketball. We were playing some games. We played a modified game of kickball. And then we sat down and we broke them off into groups and we had the students share a Bible story using the Jesus Storybook Bible. And I remember walking away from that experience being like, man, how cool was it that some of my 6th grade boys, 7th grade boys just sat down with people they've never met. And told them about Jesus, told them about the love that Jesus has for them. And so, man, that got me excited because, like you said, not everyone's comfortable going on a foreign mission trip. Not everyone, not for students especially. Like, the students may be like, sign me up. And the parents are like, I'm not sending you. Like, I can't even send you to school and you're not getting in trouble. You think I'm going to send you across the country? And so, like, you know, there's some panic in that or some unease. But, man, we talk about it, you can be a missionary to your area. That's something that we pushed this whole past year was, hey, what would it look like if you loved God and love others and you were a missionary to your school? And so tell us a little bit about some of the stuff that we've done this summer to try to help bring in some kids and give the students an opportunity to be a missionary to their friends and to the schools and hey, their jobs wherever they're at.
Yeah, and I think it's important we recognize that, right? Like we did a series in August. It was a small series, but it was called Life on Mission.
Yeah.
And so the whole objective for that teaching series was to say, hey, students, like, you know, we need to be making sure that we're living in all areas of our life, a life that could be defined as a life on mission. And so that means living a life that's honoring and edifying to Christ. That means looking at other believers around you. That means looking at lost people around you and saying, man, am I willing to reach out, to have a conversation, to share my story, to share my faith, to invite them to church? And so, you know, one thing we try to do in our ministry is like, not lower the bar in what we teach, but like we do try to make every ministry gathering an open door, like an opportunity where, you know, you could invite a friend and it would be a friendly, welcoming atmosphere where they would hear a biblical, gospel-centered message. And so, one thing that we do to kick off every school year is we kind of try to stagger our fall calendar in a way that gives students multiple touch points over and over and over and over again to just invite their friends into Christian community by being on mission. And so we just did a color war event. If you're going to attend our campuses in the next few weeks, there is a chance there might still be color powder on the ground. You know, we're not. Never mind. I'll share a joke for a later time. But we had 147 students attend our color war events across all three of our locations this past week. And so that might come as a surprise to people watching. They might be like, man, 147 students. I had no idea that the student ministry was that size. I had no idea that many students called REVO home. And like, you know, God's really been on the move in our student ministry, really even over the course of this summer, just giving students opportunities over and over again to be missional, to live a life on mission. And then now that we're in the school year, to be a light in their school. A promise I make to our kids is, look, if you get your friend in the door, I promise they will have an opportunity to hear the word of God preached. I promise they will have adult volunteers who love them and care for them. I promise we will try to connect them with other people in our ministry so they can have a relationship with other Christians and stay on track in their faith. And so, I'm excited about what God's doing, like through the local missions, but even just through what he's doing in our ministry gatherings. It's been so cool to be a part of and so cool to see.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun at the North Campus because I get to help plan the things. I get to help organize the stuff, run the stuff, and then at North Campus, I get to execute, you know, the Wednesday or the events. And it's been really cool, especially like I was telling our students for like 3 weeks, I was like, we're going to have a color war. And sorry, if you notice me mess with my nose, it's because there's probably still colored powder.
Oh, dude, I've got it. It's like, coming out the ears still.
Yeah, I can't get it still out. Compacted. It's a ton of fun, but but I told them, I was like, man, if you invite your friends, like this Wednesday, when we have the color war, the gospel is going to be presented so clearly. And so I was like, any person, you know, school's starting back. It started back a week before. I was like, any person you see that like needs Jesus, any person that you're like, I'm on the fence about them. My friends, like they say they know Jesus, but I see their life. Like if there's a person that like, man, invite the bully in your school, like anyone, bring them in. Cause this Wednesday we're going to share Jesus and it's going to be such a clear picture. And I was like, you don't have to go to them and say, come this Wednesday to hear about Jesus. I was like, tell them, come this Wednesday and I'm going to throw color powder on you. Like, how awesome of an invite is that to then see them? And so some of them actually got to invite their friends. One of our students brought his girlfriend. Second time she'd come to church. I believe second time ever that she'd come to church. And she got to hear the gospel. Like, and so that just gets me fired up. But one thing that we've done as a ministry that I'm not even going to lie to you, Michael, the very first year we did it, I was like, that seems a little crazy. I don't know, like, it's a good idea, but is it actually useful? Is it worth it? Like, okay, it's cool. It's a good idea, but you know, like some ideas just aren't worth it. But And so that was my thought initially. So this is me publicly apologizing to you, saying, man, I was so wrong. But one thing we've done as a ministry for the last couple years now is we've had a vision statement of this is where we're going. This is our goal. And so, man, we started out, the very first one was what? Was it Open the Door?
Yeah. Yep.
And so we have a thing called Vision Night where we invite our students to and we share with them the vision of this is what the ministry is doing. This is for the entire year. Everything that we talk about, every sermon, every message is going to be based, at least loosely, on the idea of, hey, you need to open the door for your friends.
Yeah.
You need to be that invite piece. And then we moved from what? It was open the door to...
we did open the door. We went into Make Heaven Crowded.
Yeah, Make Heaven Crowded.
Year 2. Year 3, what was this past year? I'm wearing the shirt. It's Love God, Love Others.
Yeah.
And then you want me to talk about?
Yeah, I'd love for you to share the vision, because I think it was something where, man, at first I was like, it's an interesting idea, but I don't know how like impactful it is versus just for us. But what I noticed this past year especially was I had students at North actually talking about how they need to love God and love others. They were using the language that we were sharing. And so I was like, okay, this is significant. So I'd love for you to tell everyone, man, like, here's our vision for this coming school year. If you're like, wow, I loved what the student ministry did in the summer. Well, hey, just wait until you see what we got cooked up. So tell us a little bit about the vision for the coming school year. Yeah,
I'd love to. And I love this. So why we do a vision is simple. Like, I think sometimes if you don't have a goal, or a purpose, like you're gonna get lost. If you don't know where you're going, then you're gonna be confused along the way. And so as a ministry, we want to provide clarity to our people, to our students, to our parents, to our leaders. And so this school year, like, our vision is known. My accent is not a North Carolina accent, so it's KNOWN, known. Known. How can we be known by God? And that vision really comes from Ephesians 2:10. It says, "For we are God's masterpiece. He has created us anew in Christ Jesus, so we can do the good things He planned for us long ago."
Yeah.
This world is telling students that they need to find their purpose and their belonging. And the world gives them all kinds of interesting ideas for where they can find that in. Find it in your sexuality. Find it in your success on the sports field, or the court, or your academics, or your friend groups, or your media presence. Like, find your identity in something. Yeah. Stick to it. That's who you are. And I think that's a lie from the world. Like, if we place our identity in anything other than Christ, we're going to be so lost. We're going to be so frustrated. We're going to be so discouraged. And so this entire school year, everything we teach, every teaching series, every roundtable night, every big event, our winter retreat, our serve weekend event in the summer, whatever we decide to do, like, it's gonna be influenced by this concept of what does it look like for us to make sure that we are known by Christ. Yeah. And that other people are known by Christ too. See, I believe when you know who you are, it impacts the way that you live. Yeah. If you know that you're a good athlete, right? It's going to impact what you do. You're gonna find yourself on the court. You're gonna find yourself trying out for sports teams. You're gonna find yourself watching sports. Like, it impacts you. And so if you know that you are a child of God, if you know that you are loved by the Creator of the universe and have a chance to spend eternity with Him and have a relationship with Him, that's going to impact what you do. Yeah, for sure. I think, man, that's such a big thing, because there's a lot of people. I think about the sports analogy. You mentioned that. There's a lot of people that have talent, that are so talented, but man, they just don't, they're missing that belief. Yep. They just don't believe that they're talented. And so then they don't make the sports team, or man, they're the best hitter in baseball, but man, they can't they couldn't hit a barn if they're standing beside it. But why? Because they don't believe it. And so I think with this whole school year, we're hoping that students by the end of the school year are going to walk away saying, who am I? I'm known by God. Who am I? I'm God's child. I was watching a podcast the other day, and the guy, I don't remember his name, or I would give him credit. But the guy had a quote that was so powerful. He said that if the Father
is not your father, then the world will become your father. And so he dropped that quote talking about, man, like culture and our identity. And so I've been waiting on a time to use that quote ever since I heard it. Because he was like, if the Father, the Heavenly Father, is not your Father, you don't have faith in him, you don't believe in him, you don't trust in him, he's not your Lord and Savior, he is not your Father. If the Father's not your father, then he said the world will become your father. That anything else, like you said, is going to be trying to pull at your identity and tug you and bring you this way, get you to do this. And man, so our prayer for this school year is that the students would walk away knowing that they have a Father in heaven, knowing that they are known and loved by God, knowing that no matter what happens in life, what grade they get, what circumstance they find themselves in, that they know that they are God's child, and that would impact the way they walk, that they talk, they dress, what they watch. And so, man, I'm excited for the school year. So talk to us, as we close, I'd love for you to just give I'll say a challenge for the people at home, but really it's just like, hey, we've talked about student ministry now a couple times. I love student ministry. I've been doing student ministry for a long time. You've been doing student ministry for a long time. We've been doing student ministry together for a long time. And so I love student ministry, but I would love for you to just talk to the people at home, because some of them attend REVO every Sunday. And man, I'm so happy that you do. And then for some people, man, they've never stepped foot in REVO, or there might be somebody watching this video. How did you find it? Tell us, that has never heard of REVO, could not point on the map where REVO Church is. And so, hey, if that's you, drop it in the comment. Let us know. We want to connect. I want to connect with you. But
Uganda?
But man, tell us how we can get involved in student ministry.
Well, let me tell you first why it's important. I believe, and if you're a parent watching this, the world is someone's gonna disciple your kid. So your 6th through 12th grader is getting discipled by something. It might be TikTok, it might be their friends at school, it might be their travel ball coach that they spend an ungodly amount of time with. It might be teammates. Somebody's investing in your kid right now. And if you, and this is gonna sound harsh, but it's a reality, and I'm praying through it and trying to figure out the balance for when my girls get older. But if you desire for your child to have a relationship with Jesus, to develop a strong faith in Jesus, if they're not actively involved in the church alongside of you, if they're not actively involved in a student ministry, I think that's dangerous. And I'm not saying like you're a bad you're not. Like, I get it. But it's so critical that we get our kids involved in community with other people their age, where they can learn and grow and be discipled by the church, not by the world. And we've only got them for an hour and a half a week. And that's if they come every week. And so the ultimate responsibility is for the parents at home. Like if you're like, man, how can I be a partner with REVO Students? Maybe you're watching and you're not a part of REVO. You live in California. I don't know, but you're still wondering, how can I be a part of making sure that my student is being developed and discipled? Well, like, you have a lot more time with them than we do. And so, like, prioritizing daily habits like Bible reading, prayer, having discussions about what they're going through, what they're learning, putting people in their lives, trusted spiritual adults who can love on them and pour into them and disciple them, is so critical. And so, like, if you're like, how can I get involved? What's the purpose? Like, I would just say, like, reach out, drop a comment. Like, we meet every week at REVO, our ministry does. Like, we meet at the South Fork campus every Sunday from 4:30 to 6, and at Walkertown and Rural Hall and North Campus, it's every Wednesday from 6:30 to 8. And we would love to welcome you, your student, in, help them know that they are loved, known by God, loved by others, have a valuable part in our church. Man, maybe you're watching and you're like, okay, well, I don't have a student. I don't know anybody like that. Or I'm 21, Michael. Like, I definitely don't got a student. Like,
I'm 21 and single as a Pringle.
Well, hey, like, what would it look like to invest your time into what I think is the most valuable investment we can make as people. We're concerned about retirement. We want our 401k to look good, like put money in the Roth, banking it, whatever. Well, have you ever thought about like investing in other people? And so I don't care if that's our world. I don't care if that's student ministry, but like the next generation, and I call them the now generation, they need Christ-loving adults to come alongside of them. Yeah. And so if you're like watching this and you're like, man, I like the vision. I like what's going on at REVO Students. Like, I want to make an impact. I want to partner. Please, please, please don't hesitate. Like, we would love to help get you figured out, sorted into the team. Like, I think students need people in the church to come alongside of them. So, man, parent, like, send your student. Realize you got a lot of power and weight at home as well. And maybe you're not a parent. Well, reach out, get invested, get involved with us. We'd love to have you. So
yeah, and don't just take our word for it, man. Paul actually told us in the book of Titus, he said for older men to train up and raise younger men, and for older women to raise up and train younger women. That wasn't just a command for a pastor. That was a command for every single person that it is our responsibility, if we name the name of Jesus, to help as Michael said, the now generation, the kids in our world. The new generation. The new generation. Generation Beta.
Yeah, they're not next. They're just new.
Yeah, they're just new. They talk a little different than you. That's okay. Yeah. They'll have fun with your sayings. But man, I encourage you to do that. Partner with us. Come see what it's like. Serve in our world. See what that's like. If you've done both, and you're like, hey, that's not for me, then just pray for us. Pray for the kids. We laid out the vision for the year. We're praying, begging God that these students would be known, that they would know that they are known. And so, hey, join us in that prayer.
And say hi to them. Like, maybe you're not ever going to volunteer on a Wednesday or a Sunday. Like, they're in the service. So, like, hey, it's not weird. Like, they won't hate you for it. Like, go up, introduce yourself. Hey, my name is so-and-so. I just want to say, I like watching you work. Like, just encourage them. Like, they crave that from the church. They crave that. And so what better way to help them belong than just to make them feel included? So yeah, that's my final
man, I'm happy, man. Michael, I appreciate you coming on. It's always a joy when I have you on because A, just the brother, but B, it's a joy because, man, we get to talk about student ministry, and that's always been a big heart of mine. And so, man, I'm happy you're here. But hey, appreciate you guys watching the video. This has been the REVO Church podcast. If you enjoyed it, do all the YouTube things, the likes, all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. But more specifically, man, I encourage you to just come alongside us. You can, every episode we drop our email. I encourage you just to go on it. And if you have questions, concerns, if you have a prayer request, if you're struggling with something, hey, send us an email, leave it in the comments. We want to reach out. We want to care for you. But I appreciate you watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.
See ya.